James Harden has recently made headlines by hitting Vegas prior to an important playoff game against the Boston Celtics, igniting a wave of criticism. This raises some questions. Does partying before big games really influence performance? And how do coaches and teammates deal with such debatable decisions? First, let's take a trip down memory lane and remember Dennis Rodman's infamous Vegas trip during the 1998 Chicago Bulls season. Like Harden, Rodman needed to blow off some steam and went on a bender in Vegas with Coach Phil Jackson's blessing. The team knew Rodman was essential, and despite his partying ways, he always delivered on the court. If you haven't seen Netflix's The Last Dance yet, go check it out for more on this wild story. Now, back to Harden's Vegas trip. With the series tied 1-1 against the Celtics, Harden informed Coach Doc Rivers about his plan to hit Vegas before the next game in Philadelphia. Surprisingly, Rivers wasn't bothered by it and even cited Rodman's Vegas trip as a reason not to worry. Rivers has evolved as a coach and understands that some players just need to let loose in their own way to perform at their best. So, should we be concerned about players like Harden and Rodman partying before big games? The answer isn't so simple. While partying might negatively affect some athletes, others thrive under these circumstances. It's crucial to consider the individual and how they perform on the court after such escapades. In the case of Rodman and Harden, their track records show that they can still deliver top-notch performances despite their partying ways. From a coaching perspective, Doc Rivers' reaction to Harden's Vegas trip shows that experience and understanding of a player's personality are vital. Rivers knows that some players need to be themselves to perform at their best, and he's willing to allow that within reason, of course. In the world of professional sports, it's essential for athletes to find a healthy balance between their personal and professional lives. Self-care and stress management play a critical role in maintaining peak performance levels. While some players might benefit from blowing off steam with a night out, others could benefit from more low-key activities like meditation or spending time with family. Of course, fans have their own opinions about athletes partying before big games. Some may feel that it's unprofessional or disrespectful to the team and fans, while others might see it as a harmless way to relieve stress. Ultimately, fan reactions will vary, but it's essential for athletes to consider the potential impact of their actions on their public image and fan base. When it comes to endorsements and sponsorships, athletes' partying habits can play a significant role. Brands might be hesitant to work with athletes known for their wild ways, as it could reflect poorly on the company's image. On the other hand, a player's partying lifestyle might also attract certain brands looking to target a specific audience. Regardless, athletes should be aware of how their off-the-court actions can influence their marketability and earning potential. As much as we've discussed James Harden's partying habits and their potential impact on his game, we can't overlook his past playoff struggles. Despite having an impressive career and even being considered as possibly the third best shooting guard in NBA history, behind Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, Harden's basketball resume lacks that signature postseason moment. His time with the Houston Rockets brought them close to a championship in the 2017-18 season, but they fell short mainly due to Chris Paul's unfortunate hamstring injury. Harden then tried to find success in the Eastern Conference, joining the Brooklyn Nets and later the Philadelphia 76ers. ESPN's Jalen Rose has expressed concern about Harden's playoff struggles, stating on NBA Countdown that the Sixers should be worried about his lack of postseason success as they prepare for another run. Rose pointed out some of Harden's most significant playoff meltdowns, such as double-digit turnovers against the Golden State Warriors and a disinterested performance against the San Antonio Spurs. However, it's important to remember that Harden's overall playoff averages with the Rockets tell a different story, with 28.4 points, 7.1 assists, and 5.7 rebounds. So, is the 2023 postseason the make-or-break moment for Harden? Harden's performance in Game 1 of the opening round, scoring 23 points and dishing out 13 assists, could be the beginning of a turnaround for his playoff narrative. As we've seen, Harden has the talent and skill to make a significant impact on the court. The question remains, can he overcome his previous playoff struggles and help lead the Sixers to a championship? As fans, coaches, and teammates watch Harden's journey through the 2023 playoffs, they'll be hoping that his Vegas trip and newfound Eastern Conference success can contribute to a change in his playoff legacy. Ultimately, it will be up to Harden to prove that he can perform consistently at a high level during crucial postseason games. In conclusion, it's essential to understand that every athlete is unique, and what works for one player might not work for another. While some athletes like James Harden and Dennis Rodman can party before big games and still perform at a high level, others might need a different approach to maintain focus and perform at their best. As we've seen, Harden's playoff history and his recent Vegas trip create an interesting narrative for the 2023 postseason. Coaches, teammates, and fans must recognize that finding the right balance between personal life and professional commitments is critical for players' success. It's important to consider the individual's needs and personality when evaluating the impact of partying before big games. However, athletes must also recognize the potential consequences of their off-the-court actions, such as fan reactions and the impact of their endorsements and sponsorships. Striking the right balance between play and responsibility is essential for a successful and fulfilling career in professional sports. So, what do you think about partying before big games? Is it a harmless way for athletes to blow off steam, or should they be more mindful of their actions and the potential consequences? And can James Harden overcome his past playoff struggles and solidify his legacy as one of the all-time greats? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting content. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.